What if I told you that one of the greatest military victories in the Bible was won by a man who started out terrified? This is the story of Gideon, an unlikely hero God chose to defeat an army of thousands with only 300 men. For years, Israel lived in fear. The Midianites swept through the land like a storm, destroying crops, stealing livestock, leaving families hiding in the hills. After 7 long years, Israel finally cried out to God, and God answered in the most unexpected way. Gideon wasn't a warrior. He wasn't a leader. He was hiding in a pit, threshing wheat so the enemy wouldn't see him. And it was there, in the shadows, that an angel of the Lord appeared and said, "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." Gideon could hardly believe it. He questioned everything. If God is with us, then why is this happening? Where are the miracles our ancestors told us about? And why choose me? I come from the weakest family, and I'm the least in my father's house. But God answered with a single promise, "I will be with you." Still unsure, Gideon asked for a sign. He brought an offering, and fire from heaven consumed it. That should have been enough, but Gideon's fear wasn't gone. So he asked again. He laid out a fleece. "God, if this is your will, let the fleece be wet and the ground dry." The next morning, it happened. Gideon hesitated once more. "Please, Lord, one more sign." This time, he asked for the fleece to stay dry while the ground became wet. And God did exactly what he asked. Finally convinced, Gideon called together an army of 32,000 men. But God said, "There are too many." Anyone who was afraid could go home. 22,000 walked away. 10,000 remained. Still too many. So God gave another test. Gideon led the men to a spring. There, the Lord told him to watch how they drank. Some dropped to their knees and lapped the water like dogs. Others stayed alert, scooping it to their mouths with their hands. Only 300 were kept, the ones who drank while keeping their guard. 300 men against an army that filled the valley like a sea of locusts. But God wasn't sending Gideon to win by strength. He was sending him to show that victory came from the Lord. Under the cover of night, Gideon divided the 300 into 3 groups. Their weapons weren't swords or spears, but trumpets, torches, and clay jars. At the signal, they blew the trumpets, smashed the jars, raised their torches high and shouted, "A sword for the Lord and for Gideon!" The Midianite camp exploded with chaos. Confused and terrified, the soldiers turned on each other and fled. Without a traditional battle, Israel won a victory only God could have accomplished. Gideon began as a man hiding in fear, not bold, not powerful, and definitely not prepared. Yet, with God, he became a leader, a warrior, and a lasting reminder that God doesn't choose the strongest. He gives strength to those he calls. Because sometimes all God needs is a willing heart, even one that trembles at first. Gideon's story, recorded in the book of Judges, didn't end in the shadows, and neither does ours. The truth is, God still meets people in their fear. He still calls the unlikely, the insecure, the overlooked, and the overwhelmed. And he still gives strength that doesn't come from our abilities, but from his presence. Most of us don't face armies, but we face battles in our minds, our families, our dreams, and our faith. And like Gideon, we often feel unqualified, outnumbered, or not enough. But God isn't looking for perfect confidence. He's looking for simple obedience. When we step out with whatever courage we have, God has a way of doing the impossible through ordinary people. He turns weakness into strength. He turns fear into faith. And he turns hiding places into launch pads. So if you feel small, uncertain, or unprepared, take heart. Gideon's journey began in fear. Yet when you dare to say yes to God, even with trembling, you open yourself to paths you could never imagine. If you got something from this, please follow.